Bonjour, welcome to Money InspirAction. My name's Sandy Levesque. In this episode, I thought I was going to be doing one thing and I turned out to do something totally different. So here goes. You'll understand why when you watch this. The brand new thing I'm doing with money is I'm negotiating a contract for an event, and I'm going to be really clear and upfront about the money. Have you ever noticed that when you're negotiating with people, depends on who you're with, but quite often money's the last thing that you talk about, and there's this weird, awkward moment just before you do, and sometimes people don't even actually discuss the money until you ask them or they just kind of pretend like it's not there and you've agreed to do something with them, but money's never been discussed. So that happens to me quite a lot, and I'm realising it's one of the ways in which I create not so great stuff with money, because I don't like talking about it, or I just don't seem to be brave enough to talk about it with people who don't like talking about it. Do you understand? So I'm off to a meeting with someone about an event. I'm not even sure a meeting is required. It's back on. But they've asked me to go along to meet them. I'm going to be very clear about the money and not put it off. Let's go. Just came out of the meeting and it turns out the event is cancelled, and they basically they wanted me to just give them a rundown of what I can offer for Zumba events and for an event possibly in April or May. The whole thing took about 5 minutes. So it took me about 45 minutes to drive here, and it really brought home to me a point that Tim Ferriss makes in the 4-Hour Work Week about meetings and face-to-face meetings, and about how when people ask you for them, you should really ask them to send you specifically what they want to talk about and really get them clear on whether you actually need to meet face to face or not. And it was so obvious that we did not need to meet face to face today, and I did say that to her, but she said, well, you know, it's nice to do these things in person. But honestly, the conversation was so short, and we did talk very upfront about money. She was very clear about that, so I didn't even have to really push anything. But what did make me go out of my comfort zone was I said to her, you know, we could have done this by telephone. It would have saved me nearly 2 hours of travelling. So she did look a bit sheepish at that point. So I am going to be implementing that tip from Tim Ferriss, which is to just really value your time and to be really aware of when we're using our time productively and when we're not. And so many meetings are it's just a lazy way of dealing with something. It's like, we don't want to deal with it now, so let's meet face to face and magically everything will get sorted out. And I knew that today was a bit of a waste of time, but I'd agreed to it, so I dragged myself along and for a 4-minute conversation. Oh well, at least it's a fairly nice area. It's absolutely pouring with rain. How does it get any better than this?